I never thought my own daughter would betray me like this. For years, I worked hard, saved every penny, built a life that I believed was secure. Every morning, I woke up at dawn, went to work, and came back home tired but satisfied because I knew my savings would give my family a better future. But one day, everything collapsed. It was a Friday morning when I received the shocking message from the bank. My account had been drained, every last dollar. I couldn't believe it. I rushed to my laptop, logged into my account, and my hands began to shake. Zero. Nothing left. Decades of work. Gone in a single day. At first, I thought it was a scam, or maybe hackers. But then, the truth hit me harder than any storm. It was my own daughter. She had emptied our bank accounts and run away with her so-called boyfriend, a boy with a dangerous past, a boy I had warned her about countless times. I had begged her to stay away from him, but she never listened. I was furious. I was devastated. How could she do this to her own family? While I sat there, my blood boiling, trying to understand what had just happened, my 15-year-old grandson walked into the room. He saw my pale face, the trembling in my hands, and asked softly, "Grandpa, what happened?" I told him everything. My voice broke as I explained how his mother had stolen everything and run away with that criminal. I expected him to cry or to panic, but instead, he smiled. Yes, he smiled. And then he said something that froze me in my chair. "Grandpa, don't worry. I've already taken care of everything." I stared at him in disbelief. "What do you mean? How could you take care of something like this?" He leaned closer, lowered his voice, and whispered, "Just trust me. You'll see." I didn't know what to think. He was just a kid. A smart kid, yes, but still, what could he possibly do against criminals who had just stolen our entire savings of work? But that same day, something happened that changed everything. That evening, while I was still pacing around the house, thinking about how to call the police, the phone suddenly rang. It was my daughter. But she wasn't crying. She wasn't apologizing. She was screaming. Her voice was full of panic. "Dad, what did you do? Where's the money? Why can't we access it anymore?" I froze. She sounded terrified. "I didn't do anything," I replied coldly. "You're the one who stole from me." No, you don't understand. The money is gone. All of it. We can't touch a single cent. His friends are furious. They think we tricked them." I could hear his boyfriend yelling in the background, smashing things, cursing. My daughter was crying now. "Dad, please, tell me the truth. Did you set us up?" I was confused. I hadn't done anything. But then I looked at my grandson. He was sitting calmly on the couch, scrolling through his laptop, almost like he was waiting for this exact moment. He looked up at me with a little grin and said quietly, "See, Grandpa, I told you not to worry." My heart skipped a beat. "Wait, was this you?" I whispered. He didn't answer. He just turned the laptop screen toward me. On it, I saw lines of code, security alerts, digital maps with blinking red dots. I couldn't understand half of it, but one thing was clear. My grandson had been tracking everything. He said, "Mom made a mistake. She thought she could outsmart everyone, but she forgot that I've been watching. I knew she'd do this one day, so I prepared." I was stunned. My own grandson had anticipated this betrayal. While I was blind with trust, he had been setting traps in the background. "But what exactly did you do?" I asked, still trying to process. He leaned back and said, "Let's just say her boyfriend won't be a problem much longer." And before I could ask another question, the phone rang again. It was my daughter. This time, she wasn't just screaming, she was begging.
Her voice on the phone was trembling. "Dad, you don't understand. They're after us. His friends, dangerous people, they think we stole their cut. They're threatening to kill us if we don't pay them back." I could hear the chaos around her. Doors slamming, glass breaking, men shouting in the background. She was sobbing uncontrollably now. "Dad, please, you have to help me. Please just give me the money back. I swear I'll return it to you later. Just save me now." I closed my eyes, my chest heavy. Part of me still loved her. She was my daughter after all. But another part of me remembered the betrayal, the pain, the way she had chosen a criminal over her own family. Before I could answer, my grandson gently took the phone from my hand. "Hi, Mom," he said calmly. His voice was steady, almost cold. "Funny how you're scared now. Didn't think about us when you stole everything, did you?" "Sweetheart, please," she begged. "You don't understand. They're dangerous." "Oh, I understand perfectly. You chose them. You betrayed Grandpa. And now you're facing the consequences." There was a silence. I could hear her choking back tears. "Please, please just tell me what you did with the money." My grandson smiled, though his eyes were sharp. "Relax, Mom. The money's safe, but not for you. I moved everything into accounts only I can control. And guess what? I also sent certain information to people who don't like your boyfriend very much." Her gasp echoed through the line. What information?" she whispered. My grandson's voice turned colder. His past crimes, every shady deal he made, every person he betrayed. I've been collecting evidence for months. I sent it all anonymously. By now, let's just say the people he double-crossed know exactly where to find him. Her screams pierced through the phone. "No, no, you don't know what you've done. They'll kill him. They'll kill us both." My grandson didn't flinch. "Mom, you made your choice. Now live with it." And then he hung up. I stared at him in shock. He sat there, calm as ever, as though this was just another day. "Grandson?" I whispered. My voice was trembling. You planned all of this?" He looked at me and nodded slowly. "Grandpa, you taught me to protect family. And that's what I did. I protected the real family."
The night grew darker, and I couldn't sleep. My mind was racing with everything my grandson had just revealed. How could a 15-year-old be capable of something like this? How could he carry such a heavy plan, so precise, so dangerous? I sat on the edge of my bed, wondering if I should be proud or terrified. Suddenly, my phone buzzed again. This time, it wasn't my daughter. It was an unknown number. I hesitated, then picked it up. A deep, rough voice spoke. "Old man, you better tell your daughter to hand over the money. Her boyfriend crossed the wrong people, and if she doesn't pay, we'll make her disappear." My hands shook as I gripped the phone tighter. I don't have the money," I stammered. "They took it from me." The man on the other end growled. "Then you better figure it out. She has 24 hours. The line went dead. I sat frozen, my heart pounding. But when I turned to my grandson, he wasn't scared. He was smiling again. "Grandpa, don't worry. I knew they would call." "What do you mean you knew?" I asked. He opened his laptop once more, showing me another set of screens, encrypted chats, call records, even video feeds I couldn't understand. "He's been monitoring them," he explained,
every move, every threat, every secret. They think they're in control, but they're not. I already set them against each other. My eyes widened. Against each other? He nodded. Criminals don't trust anyone. All it takes is the right push, the right piece of information, and they'll turn on themselves. I've given them plenty of reasons to suspect each other. By tomorrow, they won't even be focused on Mom. They'll be fighting each other. I didn't know whether to believe him or not. But then, my phone rang again. This time, it was my daughter. She was crying hysterically. "Dad, they're after him. They're not listening to me. They don't care about the money anymore. They just want revenge. He's gone into hiding, and they're saying if they find me, they'll..." Her words broke off into a scream. Loud banging noises filled the line, men shouting in the background, and then the call cut off. I stared at the phone in horror. "Grandson, what have you done?" He looked me dead in the eye, his face calm, almost emotionless. "What needed to be done, Grandpa."
The next morning, I woke up to the sound of my grandson typing furiously on his laptop. His eyes were sharp, focused, and far too mature for his age. "Grandpa," he said without looking up, "it's happening." I rubbed my eyes. "What's happening?" He turned the screen toward me. On it were live chat feeds from encrypted groups, gangs communicating in chaos. They were accusing each other of betrayal. Threats were flying back and forth, curses, promises of revenge. "They think your daughter's boyfriend sold them out," he explained. "Some of them believe he kept more money than he was supposed to. Others think he's been secretly working with the police." And you planted those lies?" I asked slowly. He smirked. "Not lies, Grandpa, just truths they didn't know. He really did cheat some of them. He really did betray a few partners. I just gave them the proof. Now they'll destroy him without us lifting a finger." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My grandson wasn't just smart, he was dangerous. Before I could respond, my phone rang again. This time it was my daughter, her voice broken, trembling, more desperate than ever. "Dad, they caught him. They caught my boyfriend. They're beating him. Oh God, they're going to kill him. Please, please help me. I don't know where to go. They said I'm next." Her sobs tore through my chest. I wanted to comfort her, but at the same time, anger boiled inside me. She had chosen this path. My grandson calmly took the phone from my hand once again. "Mom, listen carefully. You need to get out right now. Leave him behind. He's finished. If you stay, you'll be finished too." "No," she cried. "I can't just abandon him. He's my love. He..." "Stop!" my grandson snapped, his voice cutting through her hysteria. "He's not love. He's the reason you betrayed us, the reason you almost destroyed Grandpa's life. And now he's paying the price. If you want to live, you leave him now." The line went silent. For a long moment, all we could hear was her sobbing softly. Finally, she whispered, "Where do I go?" My grandson's eyes narrowed as he typed something on his laptop. Then he said, "Don't worry, I'll send you directions, but know this is your last chance. Betray us again, and I won't save you next time." And then he hung up. I stared at him, shocked beyond words. He was only 15, and yet he had just outsmarted ruthless criminals and bent his own mother to his will. "Grandson, you're saving us, but at what cost to yourself?" He finally looked at me, his expression unreadable. "Grandpa, sometimes to protect family, you have to become the monster they fear." Hours later, the storm outside mirrored the chaos in our lives. Rain lashed against the windows, Thunder roared, and the house felt colder than ever. My phone buzzed again. It was a text from my daughter. "I'm running. I followed the directions, but they're chasing me. Please, please don't let them catch me." I showed the message to my grandson. He didn't look surprised. "I knew they'd follow her," he said flatly. "That's why I set up the route. Every step she takes is being tracked, not just by them, but by me." "What do you mean?" I asked uneasily. He turned his laptop toward me again. On the screen was a map with glowing red dots moving across the city. One dot was my daughter, several others chasing her. "They're closing in," I cried. He nodded. "Yes, but look here." He zoomed in on another part of the map. Police patrol routes, CCTV camera feeds, even emergency stations were highlighted. "I'm guiding her straight through the only path where she can survive, but she doesn't know it. To her, it feels like a nightmare chase. To me, it's a game of chess." My heart pounded. You're using her as bait?" He didn't answer first. Then, with a small smirk, he said, "Sometimes the only way to trap wolves is to sacrifice a sheep." Before I could respond, my phone rang again. My daughter's panicked voice burst through. "Dad, they're right behind me. I can hear them. I don't know where I am. It's so dark, I can't." Suddenly, a siren wailed in the background. Police lights flashed. Men's voices shouted in confusion. They're scattering. The cops are here. Dad, what's happening?" I looked at my grandson in disbelief. He was still typing, his face glowing in the blue light of the screen. He whispered, almost to himself, "Checkmate." Through the phone, I could hear the chaos unfolding. Men were shouting, running, cursing. Sirens blared louder and louder, drowning out the storm. My daughter was gasping for breath. Her words broke in between sobs. "Dad, the police, they just showed up out of nowhere. They're arresting them. Oh my God, they're arresting them all. How did this happen?" I looked at my grandson. He leaned back in his chair, stretching his fingers as if he had just finished a simple homework assignment. "I may have shared a little evidence with the authorities, anonymous tips, enough to put those criminals away for a very long time." I stared at him, my jaw tight. You planned this all along?" He nodded. "Grandpa, I knew Mom wouldn't listen to you. She wouldn't listen to me either. The only way to save her was to let her feel the fire, to let her be chased, hunted, cornered, until the police swooped in." "But you put her life in danger," I protested. He turned to me, his eyes colder than I'd ever seen. "No, Grandpa, I gave her a chance, and she survived because I calculated every move. If I hadn't, she'd already be dead." Just then, my phone buzzed again. This time, it was a video message. My daughter, trembling, soaked in rain, sitting on the sidewalk as police lights flashed behind her. Officers were taking her statement while handcuffing several men nearby. She looked into the camera with swollen eyes and whispered, "Dad, I'm sorry. I don't deserve forgiveness. But please, thank him. Thank my son. He saved me, even when I didn't deserve it." My chest tightened. Tears welled in my eyes, but when I looked at my grandson, he didn't look moved at all. He simply closed his laptop and said, "It's not over yet." I frowned. "What do you mean it's not over? The police arrested them. Your mom is safe." He shook his head slowly. "No, Grandpa. The boyfriend is still out there, and he won't forgive her for what happened tonight." That night, when I thought the storm had finally passed, the phone rang once more. But this time, it wasn't my daughter. A rough, familiar voice growled on the other end. "You think you're clever, old man? You think you can hide from me?" It was him,
The boyfriend. My blood ran cold. "Stay away from my daughter," I shouted. "You've done enough." He laughed, a dark, bitter laugh. "She ruined everything. My crew's gone, my money's gone, and it's all because of her. She betrayed me, and I'll make her pay." "Don't you dare touch her," I roared. But he ignored me. "You tell that brat, your little genius grandson, that he's not as smart as he thinks. He just made me the most dangerous enemy of his life." And then the line went dead. I lowered the phone, my hands trembling. When I turned to my grandson, he wasn't shocked. He wasn't even afraid. "I was waiting for this," he said calmly. "What do you mean?" I asked, horrified. He opened his laptop once again, and my breath caught in my throat. On the screen were live surveillance feeds, hacked security cameras, even GPS trackers, and in the middle of it all, one red dot moving across the city. "That's him," my grandson whispered. "I knew he'd come back. I've been tracking him since last night. He thinks he's hunting Mom, but really, he's walking straight into my trap." I stared at him in disbelief. You're not just saving her. You're planning to destroy him." He looked me dead in the eye, his young face shadowed by the glow of the screen. "Grandpa, this isn't about saving anymore. This is about ending it. For good."
The red dot on the map kept moving closer. My grandson zoomed in, showing me every street, every turn. "He's heading toward Mom," he said, his voice calm but firm. I swallowed hard. "Then we need to call the police again." He shook his head. "No. If we call them now, he'll slip away. He's too smart to be caught twice. This time, we need to end it on our terms." The weight of his words sank into me. "You're talking like you want to trap him yourself." He didn't answer. Instead, he typed a series of commands into his laptop. I watched in stunned silence as traffic lights on the city map changed, surveillance cameras rotated, and entire blocks of streets lit up with rerouted signals. You're controlling the city?" I whispered. He smirked slightly. "Not the whole city, just enough to box him in." Meanwhile, my phone buzzed. It was another frantic message from my daughter. "Dad, he found me. He's chasing me through the alleys. I can't run anymore. Please help me." Her terror stabbed me like a knife. I turned to my grandson in panic. "She's going to die if we don't do something." But he didn't panic. His fingers moved faster across the keyboard, his eyes sharp with focus. "She won't die," he said coldly, "because I'm not giving him a way out." Suddenly, the map blinked red. A circle appeared around the boyfriend's dot. Streets closed off, alleys blocked, exits sealed by redirected patrols and cameras. My grandson leaned back, whispering one chilling word: "Trapped." At that exact moment, my daughter's voice screamed through the phone. "Dad, he cornered me. He's right here. Oh God, he's..." The call cut off. I froze in terror. "Grandson, what did you just do?" He looked at me with eyes far too dark for a 15-year-old. "The only thing I could, Grandpa. I gave him no escape. Now, it's him or us."
The apartment went silent. My daughter's last scream still echoed in my ears, and my heart pounded like a drum. I looked at my grandson. This boy, this child of 15, sat there with the calm precision of a general commanding an army. His eyes were fixed on the laptop screen, every finger poised over the keys, ready to execute the next move. "Grandpa," he said softly, but there was no warmth in his voice. "He's trapped. Now it's time to finish this." I couldn't speak. My mind raced. Finish what? Do you mean kill him? He shook his head slowly, almost imperceptibly. No, not kill him. Not yet. But he needs to understand that actions have consequences. He's going to pay for everything he took, everything he destroyed. I swallowed hard. And my daughter, she's safe? He nodded. For now. She's behind layers of protection I set up last night. The alley she ran through, every street, every camera, every witness, all coordinated. She can't be touched. But him? He made a choice. He came for her. Now he faces the consequences. My stomach churned. You're manipulating him? A small smirk appeared on his lips. Not manipulating, guiding. He thinks he's in control, but every step he takes is part of the plan. Watch. On the laptop, the red dot represented the boyfriend moved, pacing nervously. Notifications popped up, blocked streets, sudden police presence, alerts of witnesses in nearby alleys. The trap was closing. And then, a message appeared on the boyfriend's phone, an anonymous text. Every move you make has been watched. Every choice you made has consequences. Stop now or face the results. The dot on the map froze. My grandson leaned back. See? Fear is a powerful motivator. I shook my head. You're ruthless. 15 years old, and you're already like this? He looked at me, eyes cold, unyielding. Grandpa? Sometimes to protect what you love, you have to be colder than the coldest enemy. You taught me to defend family. This is defending family. The boyfriend's dot started moving again, cautiously, but every turn he made led him into another corner. The streets narrowed, the exits disappeared, and police patrols appeared from nowhere. It was perfect. Suddenly, my phone rang again. This time, it was my daughter. Her voice was trembling, but there was relief beneath the fear. Dad, he stopped. He can't move. I can see him from here. He's trapped, like you said. Oh God, I can't believe this. Thank you. Thank you. I looked at my grandson, my chest heavy with disbelief. You did all this? He nodded, tapping the laptop. All of it. Every step. He'll be caught in a few minutes, and justice will follow. The rain outside had slowed, but the storm inside my mind didn't. I realized something terrifying and awe-inspiring at the same time. This boy, my grandson, had not only saved my daughter, but had outsmarted dangerous criminals, controlled the chaos, and executed a plan that no adult could have managed. And then, silence. The city outside was quiet for a moment, as if holding its breath. And in that moment, I understood the truth. The world had changed. Not the criminals, not the law, but us. My grandson, my family. And from that day forward, I knew one thing with certainty. Sometimes monsters are born from the need to protect.
The city felt alive with tension, even though the storm had passed. Rain had left the streets glistening, reflecting the flashing red and blue lights of the police scattered throughout the area. Inside our apartment, the silence was deafening. broken only by the quiet tapping of my grandson's fingers on the keyboard. "Grandpa," he said without looking up, "he's making his last move." I leaned over the laptop, heart hammering. The red dot representing the boyfriend was cornered now, squeezed into a single block. The exits were blocked, and patrols had formed a perfect cordon. Every step he took led him deeper into the trap. Is this over?" I asked, my voice trembling. My grandson shook his head slightly. "Not yet. He still has one choice: to surrender or to fight and face the consequences." I gave him a warning, but he ignored it. Now it's time for the final act. On the screen, I saw the boyfriend hesitate, pacing in the narrow alley. Notifications popped up, police units closing in, surveillance cameras tracking every movement, anonymous texts warning him that escape was impossible. He was sweating, panicked, and desperate. Then, a loud shout came through the phone, my daughter reporting from her safe location. "Dad, he's trying to climb over a fence, but there's no way out." My grandson smirked, almost casually. He's trapped in a loop now. Every exit I anticipated, every street I controlled perfectly, he's going nowhere. I swallowed hard. You've orchestrated all of this. He can't escape?" "No," my grandson said coldly. "Not physically, not mentally either. Fear is the cage I built for him." Suddenly, another message popped up on the boyfriend's phone. "This is your final warning. Stop now or face the consequences." He froze. Then he made a rash move, sprinting into an open alley, hoping for a miracle. But the alley was lined with police officers, hidden cameras, and strategic obstacles my grandson had planned days in advance. Within minutes, the boyfriend was surrounded, trapped, and completely exposed. I stared at the screen in awe and terror. He's caught!" "Yes," my grandson said softly, closing the laptop. "Checkmate." I felt a strange mix of relief and unease. My daughter's life was safe. The criminals were neutralized. But my grandson had become something else entirely. A guardian, yes, but a strategist, a force far beyond his age. My daughter called again, her voice trembling with gratitude and guilt. "Dad, thank you. Please, tell him. He saved my life. I don't deserve this. None of this." I nodded, my voice thick. "I will. He's extraordinary." The boy looked at me, calm, almost eerily composed for his age. "Grandpa, sometimes to protect the family, you must step into the shadows. Sometimes monsters aren't born, they're created." I realized he was right. He wasn't just my grandson. He was a guardian, a silent force of justice who had rewritten the rules of safety and revenge. The storm outside had passed, but the storm inside our family had changed us forever. And for the first time, I understood the true weight of power, protection, and sacrifice, carried in the hands of a boy who was no longer just a child. The city slept that night, unaware that a new kind of guardian had emerged, one who would protect family at any cost and make sure that no betrayal ever went unpunished.